What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is just going to be a quick opinion video on the 2019 Toyota Tacoma 4x4 TRD crew cab. Yeah, this is a pretty nice truck. If you don't know about these things by now, they're legendary. But yeah, I got my hands on one. I'm actually test driving this thing. I don't own this one. Thinking about buying a Toyota Tacoma, but you know, after driving this thing, I want to give you guys my opinion on why I don't want this versus, say, a Tundra like that over there. But so let's talk about the Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. This is the 4x4 Sport, and my opinions on this thing. So a lot of you guys know, in my past, I used to work for Toyota. I used to build Toyota light trucks, not as a salesman, but as a manufacturer. I worked at the factory in California before they shut it down and moved to Texas. So I am biased because I used to build these, but I know the quality is top notch. Of course, I was on the inside. I knew what went on in there. And I love these things. I love the Tacoma in general. And I also have an infatuation with small 4x4 vehicles in general, like the Suzuki Samurai. It's weird. I like the little tiny 4x4s. Beautiful truck. Love it. They basically sell themselves. You don't even need a salesman. Most people do their homework and they know that they want a Toyota Tacoma. My opinion is on this thing is this is a fantastic truck for someone who doesn't have kids. Say you're younger, you're in your 20s and 30s, you don't have kids, it's just you by yourself, you're single, or you and your girlfriend, or you and your wife, or whatever, or a female, you know, no kids. I think it's a fantastic truck for someone with no kids. Plenty of room for one person or two people just going out and having adventures and stuff like that. Good for getting around town if you live in a big city like I used to live. I used to live in Vegas, you know, 3 million people. And good for parking, you know, driving on narrow roads and tunnels and parking garages and things like that. Perfect truck for cities because it is small for the most part compared to a full size like Tundra, for example. But for me personally, my specific use, I have 3 kids and this thing is super tight with 3 kids. If you put one kid in here with a child seat like I just did today, and I'll show you footage of that, it's tight in here. It's good if you're just single or no kids, I mean. Just you and your wife or you and your girlfriend. It's fine, but it's tight in here. Look at that. Pretty tight. And then this is what it's like when you have a little kid. See how tight that is? Look at her feet.
There's no
her feet are hitting the center console, and the baby seat just takes up a lot of space back there. Could you fit 3 people back there? Yeah, you could, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be uncomfortable. And it's definitely not fun to deal with this kind of tightness on a daily basis. Every day, putting the baby in there, she's not easy to get in there. She hits her head when I try to pick her up and put her in the chair. It's just not a lot of room. So, like I said, this is good for, in a pinch, you can carry 3 kids back there if you had to. But not my choice for a family vehicle. Just not a good fit for me. So I'm not going to be getting the Toyota Tacoma. It's just too small for what I need. Plus overlanding too. I'm going to be loading this thing now with a bunch of camping gear, rooftop tents, maybe even a camper. And you know, the V6, it's powerful enough to get you around normally, but after you start weighing it down and you start going on those 20-mile grades up to the summits of Tahoe and stuff like that, up in the mountains, the V6 starts to struggle, especially on those long grades uphill, loaded down with gear. So just not going to cut it for me. I need a big V8, or not even a big V8. I just need a V8 with a little bit more horsepower and torque. But let's look at this one here. Let me tell you what I do love about this thing. So first off, the cement gray is beautiful. Look at that. I love that haze gray kind of look. It's almost like an urban stealth camouflage, in my opinion. Ooh, it's getting cold out here. It's like 32 degrees. I think it's going to snow any second. It is a 4-wheel drive, which is awesome. So if you get stuck in you know, ice and snow and rain and mud, that always comes in handy. This is the TRD 4x4 Sport. And you can see the badging on the back right here. If you don't know, that comes in a bunch of different models. There's the Sport, and then there's the off-road, and then there's the Pro, but essentially any TRD option is going to be a suspension upgrade. So I believe this one's the Bilsteins. Can't see it in the back, but you can see the Bilsteins at the front, the little blue shocks in there. You see that? The blue tells you those are Bilsteins. And there's a couple other suspension upgrades as well. Some models have anti-sway bars. Not a pre-runner per se, but definitely tuned for going off-road. And then of course TRD models have the TRD specific wheels. These are 17s running Toyo open countries. They're just all terrains. They're not mud terrains. So just enough to get you through icy roads, but probably have to upgrade those later if you're going to go actual off-roading, like rock crawling, things like that. The aesthetics, some people love it, some people aren't a big fan of it. The kind of like catfish looking front grille, I like it. It's got its own unique style. Non-functional hood scoop, as far as I know. It's non-functional, it's just for looks. And then of course V6 under the hood, and then in the back, nothing to write home there, just your standard pickup truck stuff. You got your multi-pin trailer hookups for towing. Not that this thing is the greatest tower, but if you have a teardrop trailer, that comes in handy. 2-inch receiver, backup camera, and then your dampened truck bed. And while we're back here, it does have a liner. It's not a spray-on, but it does do the job. See how they bolt them down here? It's just bolted on, it's not sprayed on. Back here you got your 110 outlet, so you can run tools or radios or whatever. That's a cubby just for extra emergency gear. Yeah, tie downs here and tie downs over there. It does have the rail system, but it does not come with the cleats in this model. I'm sure other models do. You can buy the cleats after. Let's look on the inside. So there's a bunch of different models of these on the insides as well, different trim levels. I'm not going to go through all the different trim levels because this is not a full-on car review. This is just my opinion of this specific truck. This one is a TRD Sport, so it's going to have some things that are cool and some things that are not cool. Let's start off with the things that are not cool. The seats. You see that? It's a metal bar. It's not powered. So it's the old school metal bar adjustment. No power seats in this model. Kind of strange that you're paying, you know, $35,000-$40,000 for a TRD Tacoma, because these things are in high demand, and you don't even get power seats. That's kind of weird. But you can still adjust some things on here, obviously. I believe this is leather, so at least you get leather seats though. Not embroidered TRD. It would have been nice to have TRD. In the doors, 2 bottle cup holders there, which is nice. Electric mirrors. The interior, oh, by the way, those mats are pretty awesome. They're like Tacoma's version of WeatherTech mats. Here's a truck bed light. So if you want to look in the back, I guess, yeah, there you go. You can see the light right there. So you can have light in the back if you're doing work at night. And then here's your AC 120 volt power to the truck bed. You got to hit that so it'll work. And then your auto lights. If you want to run auto lights, there's a cubby there for maybe a cell phone. All right, let's get in here because it's getting cold. Power windows, power mirrors, obviously. They are heated, I believe. Here's a cool thing. So look at this dash. There's a bunch of controls here, and they may vary from model to model, but let's look at some of the options here. So here's your blind spot monitoring button. So if you hit that, your mirror will light up when cars are near you, which is kind of nice. ECT is electronically controlled transmission. You hit that when you want to change the shift points in your transmission. So if you're going up hills or off-road, you can change your shift points. That's kind of cool. This is your parking assist. So you hit that button, the sensors in the bumpers will turn on, so you can kind of get an idea how close you are to subjects that are near your bumper. And then of course, this is the cool one here. Let me turn the engine on here. Push to start, by the way. That's cool. I really like to push to start. You just keep the key in your pocket and push that button. Very cool. I think all modern cars should have that. But going back to this rear window, watch this. Push that. the window opens. And then you pull it. Freaking love that. That is awesome. USB port, auxiliary wire. You're gonna plug in iPod or something. Everybody always asks, what is that weird thing right there? I didn't know what that was either. I had to look it up. So what that is, it matches that symbol right there where you put your phone. You lay your phone on there and you hit that, and that will wirelessly charge your cell phone. There must be some kind of setup you have to do to get it to work, because I didn't get mine to work for some reason, so I just have it plugged into the 12 volt USB adapter right there, cigarette lighter adapter to charge my phone. But that's all the buttons under the dash there. Of course, engine start without keys. That's cool. Here's your two-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low selector. By the way, you can put this in 4-wheel drive as you're driving in the 4 high. Say you're driving in snow or ice. I think you have to slow down to roughly 25 miles an hour, something like that. Check your manual for the exact numbers, but you can be rolling and put it in 4 high, so all the wheels will get power. Of course, stop. You got to stop to put it in 4 low so you can crawl. That's your heated mirrors, I believe, right there. Your hazards, temperature controls, windshield, defroster, fan. This is the intensity, I believe, yep, of your fan. And then there's your circulation. There's your AC power on or off when you're driving in the heat. You can sync the temperatures to the passenger. So if you want to set this to, let's see, let's do the temperature to 74, and the passenger got 70, hit sync and it'll match it. So that's kind of nice. Let's turn the temperature back down here. It also has heated seats. Woo-wee, that is nice when it's freezing outside. It's 36 degrees out there, so having heated seats is freaking awesome. That is cool. I got to give it to Toyota for that one. And that's pretty much it. Oh, well, let's talk about the center console here. I'm not going to go into detail on this because there's a whole book that tells you everything about this thing, but it is a JBL touchscreen, so that's nice. The speakers do sound good in here, so I'm not going to play the music too much because I don't want to get a strike for copyright infringement. But the speakers sound really good in here. That's got good bass, and then of course you can connect XM radio, Bluetooth to your phone, all that good stuff, wireless. Speaking of wireless, there's a mic right there, so if you're gonna do wireless conversations on your phone, that's where the mic is. By the way, up here, this is your traction control. I don't know why it's up there, but it should be on the dash. But anyway, traction control's up there if you go off-roading and you want to do that. One single glasses holder. And then here's the cool part. This model, even though it doesn't have power seats, it does have a moonroof. So if you want to open it, just touch it and you will get snow falling on you because it's about to snow. One touch, I believe. Oh no, there you go. And close. And here's the thing that's kind of cool. If you want to just vent it, you can vent it with a separate button to get air coming in. I remember in the old days there wasn't a separate button for vent. So that's kind of nice. And of course, lights. Just like that. And then of course, controlling dome lights when you open the door or not. Let's take a look at the mirrors. Of course, standard stuff there. Does this one have one? Yeah, that's got illuminated mirrors too. The dash is kind of cool. You got that red accent. I like that. Alright, so in the center stack there you got digital, so you can scroll through all the different pages. I'm not going to go through all the details, but you get the picture. You can scroll through all the different pages. You can do miles per gallon and all that stuff, trip odometer. Of course, on the left is your tach, your engine temp, and then on the right is your speedometer and your fuel gauge. So cool. Simple stuff over here, headlights, high beams, fog lights, all that good stuff. Over here, cruise control. I don't know what these, this is for parking. I know that's like lane departure, and then this is like some kind of parking sensor thing. There's your pages. That's your menu for going through the digital screen up there. Changing the channels and then volume up and down. There's your push to talk thing when you're talking on your cell phone. and yeah, answer calls and drop calls. I like small trucks in general. If I didn't have 3 kids and a wife, I probably would buy this. But I have 3 kids and a wife, so that's not going to work for me. It's just not in the cards. I think I need a Tundra. Let's go look at the back. So in the back here, again, that cool power window, that was awesome. You got hooks for clothes there. You got grab handle right there. You do have cup holders right here. Technically you have HVAC for the rear passengers, which I don't think works that great because it's just shooting down at their feet. So cold air and hot air does shoot out of there though. Awesome TRD, or I don't know if these are TRD, but these are Toyota WeatherTech style mats that catch all the mud and water. Seats just enough to get the job done. Seats do not recline. You do have 3 head rests back there. That's cool. Storage. So it does not have a flat floor. As you can see, there's a big bump right there, and it also has a compartment so you can hide stuff in there if you want to. It's not very big though. You'd be lucky to get an AR-15 in there if you wanted to. I doubt it. You can get some couple handguns in there though, and some ammo. But that's about it. And then of course these seats come down. If you pull that little strap, these come down. You got to take the headrests off and put them on here, and then this will come down flat, and then you will have a flat storage space for boxes and suitcases and stuff like that. But now your floor is going to be higher. But there is cubbies in the back though. You want to put some stuff hidden back there as well. Oh, no pockets on the back of the driver for some reason, but the passenger gets a pocket. That's strange. What's up with that, Toyota? Double bottle holders in the back, same on the other side. But that is just a quick look at the Toyota Tacoma TRD 4x4 Sport Edition. I do love this truck. I think it's amazing. You get a lot for your money, great resale value, light, nimble, compact. And if you need a small truck to carry a bunch of stuff and carry 5 people legally, but not in the cards for me, unfortunately. It's just too small. So let's go ahead and take this thing for a drive. All right, I do like the center console shifter here, the center shifter. That's kind of nice. You know, in the old days it used to be on the steering column. That's pretty nice there. This is obviously not an off-road test. Anybody can drive out here in any car, but I do feel the Bilstein shocks doing their job for sure, soaking up these bumps out here. Let me turn around here. Yeah, this just does feel pretty nice. And I'm only driving in 2-wheel drive right now. So let me show you what it's like to put it in 4-wheel drive. So you don't have to put it in park to do this, but I'm going to just do it anyways. So you see this? Switch it over to 4 high. Give it a few seconds to lock. I'll put it in drive. Again, like I said, you don't have to stop. I'm just doing it anyways. So now I'm in 4 high. This is good for driving in snow and ice. This trail is pretty narrow, so the Tacoma actually does really well on narrow trails. A Tundra or any other full size wouldn't fit very easily on these narrow roads and trails. Tacoma though, fits like a glove. All right, so we're at the top of the hill here. I'm still in 4 high. Alright, so there is a hump right there of dirt. I'm going to test the breakover angle, meaning the center between the front and rear tires. So let's see if this thing actually touches in the middle of the truck. See how narrow this trail is too? And just like that, boom, just like that. That is an example of the breakover angle on a Tacoma, which is really good. Not as good as a Jeep, but still better than almost any full-size truck, better than a Tundra. All right, so let's talk about the driving impression. I'll give you my opinion now that I've had the truck now for a couple of days. And I have to admit, this truck drives fantastic. Of course, it's a brand new Toyota truck, so I wouldn't expect it to drive horrible. And to be honest, all new trucks, no matter what I had, if it was a Colorado or a Ranger or a Nissan Frontier, a brand new 2019, they're probably going to drive nice too. I mean, it's just a preference thing at this point. But I will say this, I can tell the difference between just a standard vehicle without suspension upgrades versus the TRD upgrades, the TRD suspension upgrades on this truck here. I notice it. It definitely feels sportier in this thing. On the road, it actually feels tighter. You know, the way the valves are in these shocks, it feels pretty good. I mean, it's not a racing truck by any means, but it does feel good. It's tuned to be a sporty, flickable, maneuverable, predictable little truck for sure. The V6 is fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's such a light truck that, you know, when it's empty, it gets up and goes as much as I need it to. Do I wish it had a V8 option? Heck yeah. I mean, I like the sound of a V8, and I like the torque and the power of a V8. I think if you're going to tow a lot of things, though, you probably shouldn't pick a Tacoma. It's just not really optimized for towing. So, just my opinion anyways. I'm sure people can tow teardrops, no problem with them. I will say this, though. If I was bigger, you know, if I was a bigger dude like a Samoan or a Hawaiian, this would be too tight. I mean, if you look at me, I'm a 200-pound guy, not the biggest guy out there, 5'10" with boots on. I do feel the difference in a Tacoma versus, say, a Tundra. I think the Tacoma is just too small for bigger people, or tall people, too, for that matter. Look at the headroom that I have. Like I said, I'm 5'10" with boots on, and my head's got only a few inches of space there. If you had a longer or taller body, you're going to be maxing this thing out. Might have to open up the sunroof and stick your head out. But for average size people, no problem at all. Not a problem. And then fuel economy. Last I checked on this thing, it was showing, I think it was showing 19 miles per gallon in the city driving that I was doing. 19 miles per gallon isn't the best. Toyotas in general, trucks in general, don't get good gas mileage for the most part. You don't buy a truck for good gas mileage. If you want good gas mileage for a commuter vehicle, buy a four-door sedan like that right there or something, you know. I mean, see what I mean? Those guys will probably get 25, 30 miles per gallon, no problem. But yeah, I mean, 19 miles per gallon in the city, that's not bad. I think Tundras get like 15 to 16. 16 versus 19 is not a huge gap. So if you just lay off the gas and you're not, you know, a lead foot, you could probably get 17 or 18 miles per gallon on a Tundra. So again, not worried about the gas mileage. I'm only driving from my house to the office and back. That's 13 miles, so not worried about it. Again, I'm not buying a truck, guys, for gas mileage. I'm buying a truck for carrying 5 people, all our gear, and payload and towing. That's what I'm buying a truck for. All right, so here's something I noticed that I don't like. I don't know why they do this. It must be a safety thing. Maybe it's a visual thing. But the driver doesn't have a grab handle. Remember in the old days, even on the Gen 2 Tundras, they had grab handles. They took them away on the Gen 3 Tundras. Same thing with the Tacomas. Passenger has a grab handle. Driver does not. I really, really don't like that. Come on, Toyota. Please, make that an option for some of us. Let us have the option to put grab handles on these things if we want to. The rear view mirror is really small. I cannot see one side to the other on the back window. Plus you factor in the headrest and you really can't see much out the rearview mirror. What's up with that? They need bigger rearview mirrors, or what are they, convex, where they're wide angle. That'd be nice. The glove box is actually pretty spacious. Surprisingly, I thought it was going to be a lot smaller. All right, guys. So that was my mini review slash just quick opinion on the Toyota Tacoma TRD 4x4 Sport. Again, take it with a grain of salt. I didn't look at all the different models that are out there, all the different options, the off-road and the Pro. This is just the Sport model and my opinion on the Tacoma in general. Again, bad news for me. I'm not buying a Tacoma. Definitely going with a full size, maybe a Tundra, maybe an F-150, maybe a Ram 1500, maybe a Nissan Titan, who knows. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about the Toyota Tacoma, and which truck should I buy. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.